Something that comes up in conversations that I have with employers a lot at the moment is, what do I think job seekers, candidates will be looking for, both more to some extent both from their existing employers, but also particularly from new employers or potentially new employers as the months of economic recovery sort of begin to ramp up. And I think it is a very, very important question, and I'm glad that so many employers are giving it plenty of thought, because I think it's going to be a big deal. And I think the most important issue probably is, or most of it centers around this need to trust in your leaders, the leaders of the business, to have belief that there is going to be a fairly stable organization and market sector for you to join. Now, that may not even really be totally true, because how on earth can anyone necessarily control that aspect? But I think it's really important that business owners, business leaders, team managers are able to convey a sense of calmness and organization in the minds of people who are weighing them up. They're not just weighing up the job and the salary package and the company. I mean, those things obviously are always very important, but the individual manager that you're going to report into is I would suggest, even more important than usual. And I'm a big believer, those that know me, that this is a really important issue all the time. But I would suggest in tough and troubled times, and let's face it, we've got those, that need to have some faith and some conviction in who you're working closely with is vital. Now, that doesn't mean we want companies or managers or leaders to start, if you'll forgive me, bullshitting people and putting a ridiculously rose-tinted picture out there. I don't think that's going to wash at all. I think that's a really big mistake. And I think it does often happen, particularly in kind of the sales worlds, where there is perhaps a tendency to be that kind of person, to be very, very optimistic and very positive. And that can be a good thing, of course, but I think you've got to temper that with some reality. I don't think people are going to be convinced, particularly right now, by anyone that's making out it's all sunshine and rainbows. So it doesn't mean deluding people or conning people or just putting a really rosy view out there and hoping and praying it's okay. It's about being sensible and giving people the reality and talking through what will be difficult and what will be challenging, but obviously giving them a sense that you as an organization and you as an individual manager or leader have a plan, and a plan that you can take them through, that they can buy into, and have some trust and faith in. I think that's really important. Don't spare people the tough stuff. It's much better that you're honest. It doesn't mean you've got to be negative. Of course, you've got to make people feel there's still a reason to join. But pretending that everything is going to be a breeze, is never a good idea. But right now, I think you'd be laughed out of town. It would just be seen as ridiculous. So keep it honest, but be very, very factual. Be prepared to share stuff with people. I don't think there's anything to gain by hiding the tough issues away from people. They want to know what they're stepping into. So give them honesty, give them transparency, take their views, take their feedback. Try not to be too defensive about it. It's difficult for all of us as individuals, because of course we've already probably put into this plan and we've come up with it, and if someone then is seeming to challenge it or not be completely convinced by it, it can be a little bit ego shattering for us. But this is someone who doesn't know you yet, hasn't worked with you, and they need to buy into you, and that takes a bit of time. So, take them by the hand, metaphorically, and actually show them how this is going to work, and show them why they will be stepping into an opportunity that is an attractive and positive one, rather than some kind of harebrained, full of hot air situation, which is, as I say, I don't think that's going to work, so it's no point doing that. Anyway, give that plenty of thought, and take their advice. Don't see it as a one-way exposition of what's happening. Get their thoughts too, get their ideas. I think it will be really advantageous to have someone that's genuinely buying into what you're doing and offering their own thoughts on top. Okay, good luck for everybody for that one.